just to find the loudest tears. We set down by the fire, knowing we could aim higher, but we didn't know that yet. So if you want something to hold on to, gotta find it first. But here I am, 'cause I've been laying under palm trees, waiting for the summer, knowing there's nowhere to go. 'Cause I am happy on this island, wanna be my farmland. I don't ever want to leave, I'm in a tropic club. I remember the ocean, memories die out too hard. But we were traveling the mountains, just to find the loudest tears. We sat down by the fire, knowing we could aim higher, but we didn't know that yet. So if you want something to hold on to, gotta find it first. But here I am, 'cause I've been laying under palm trees, waiting for the summer, knowing there's nowhere to go. 'Cause I am happy on this island, wanna be my farmland. I don't ever want to leave, I'm in a tropic club.
What's going on, everybody? My name's Aaron Ciotti. Everybody just calls me Ciotti. And as you can see by the description, yeah, this is the end, unfortunately. We have reached Quaranstream day 30. And the big point of the daily Quaranstream was to see if I'd already had a bunch of momentum, and the timing was absolutely perfect for it. So it was a way of motivating, forcing myself to put content out every day and just to work my ass off for 30 days straight to try to take that momentum that I already had, capitalize on the fact that the entire country was stuck at home. So kind of like the perfect time to do this, and see if I could turn that into it's weird to say career, but I don't know, go pro with it, I don't know, just kind of basically get enough of a launching pad and get the momentum going upwards in a way that I could see this becoming a full-time thing. But that didn't work out. I don't know. My gut tells me to say that, you know, I didn't push hard enough. I didn't organize myself good enough. I didn't spend enough time on it. I just, I'm not good enough, didn't work hard enough, whatever. And that's partially true, for sure. These things don't happen in a vacuum. But yeah, the virus has hit everybody hard, and content creators are being hit hard too. So I can't ignore that side of it either, right? I can't just completely internalize this and completely blame myself. So yeah, I will admit that I expected this. I didn't expect to be able to pull this off. So it's yeah, it's not a surprise per se, but it's it's harder than I thought. Today's been a rough day. Yesterday was a little bit rough too. Just kind of coming to the realization that the end of this really snuck up on me. So yeah, yesterday was rough. Today was a lot harder. But hey, I tried it, right? Like that's I just keep telling myself that I tried it. I worked as hard as I could. I tried to put 8+ hours in every day. Some days I failed at that. Some days I didn't. I wish that I was stronger and better and faster and smarter and whatever to have been able to kind of make this happen, but it didn't, and that's okay. You don't win them all, right? So I had an absolute blast. The last 30 days were I can't believe that I was able to do this. I really thought I would get 3 days in, and then I would fuck it up and miss a day, or my brain would attack me and the depression would come on and just paralyze me, which it tends to do. But none of that happened, which was really nice. It was nice not to have to deal with any huge depression bombs going off in my brain over the last 30 days, and I had an absolute blast with you guys. The collective, the group of folks who are here almost every day. I feel so much closer to you guys, and I feel like we're this awesome little family, and that is a very special thing. And I hope that you guys stick around. I have to assume that you will. If you've been along for the ride this long, I don't see you guys going anywhere, which is pretty amazing. And that's something that came out of this that I didn't expect, that I'm very lucky to have, and I'm yeah, I don't know. It's that's just something really cool that I wouldn't give up for the world. So yeah, as an experiment, it kind of sort of failed, but as a person, I feel like I won big time and gained a lot of amazing friends and made a lot of really awesome relationships. And yeah, I don't know. In the chat, we've got, let me see if I can use YouTube's participant thing. Nope. Weirdo with a Skateboard was first, it looks like. Pedro Tomei then came. Nathaniel LaBooth, Meatwad Fairy, Redbeard the Pilot. I haven't seen you in a while, brother. How are you? Monkey Shine is here. Weirdo with a Skateboard again, asking me how I'm keeping. I'm okay, brother. How about you? Big Willie is here. Luciano Hernandez. Ken Hill. Larry is in the house, stuck in trees. Nathaniel LaBouffe with a $5 super chat. Brother, thank you very much. Much appreciated. Thanks for being awesome, man, and keeping me motivated. I can fly in the in-air mode now, working on loops. Dude, awesome. That's what it's all about, man. That's all I ever wanted was to share my knowledge with you guys, and yeah, just further the micro brushless worlds and try to close the gap between 2-inch, 2.5-inch, 3-inch, and 5-inch. As I've mentioned a million times, you're probably sick of hearing it by now, but the R&D gap between 5-inch rigs and micro rigs is huge, right? 4, 5, 6 years ago, people like Steel started to hit the 5-inch propeller builds really hard and develop that formula and figure out the exact right motor size, the exact right KV, props, all that good stuff. And micros just didn't have that, have never had that kind of a development cycle. Kebab was able to do what I tried really hard to make that work. Kebab was able to really jumpstart that, which was amazing. I'm so thankful for him. We wouldn't be anywhere near where we're at now without him. Yeah, so it's been interesting. But yeah, that's Nathaniel is just a perfect example right there of what this has all meant to me and what I wanted from this from day one. So thank you for saying that, Nathaniel. Thanks for the $5. It means a lot. And yeah, that's awesome, dude. Ken Hill, Remy Tim is here, although he's going to be in the background, it says. How dare you, Daniel. Luciano Hernandez is here. Space Truck and FPV is here. He is in the top spot right now for the best YouTube name in the chat. Paulie Lee FPV in the house. Callie Higgins, Mike Bergman, Stuck in Trees. I think he called you already. We get double shout out, brother. Athix FPV is here. Who else do we have? Dave's FPV. YouTube did the thing, but it looks like we've got. It looks like it's all mainly repeats here. And yeah, I think we're good. I think I got everybody. If I didn't get you, my apologies. 661 FPV, I did not get you. All right, I think I got everybody. So today we're going to tear the Tiny Trainer apart, and I think so the VTX blew up because the shrink wrap. Well, it didn't blow up. It just temporarily stopped working, which is kind of cool. I guess maybe Ishin built in some kind of protection. Basically, what happened is that the heat shrink came off of it, and then I think on a small crash, the VTX moved all the way down against the carbon and was grounding out against the carbon because all of a sudden the VTX, I just had no VTX. The VTX wasn't powering on. But then last night when I pulled it apart and pulled the VTX up off of the carbon, it came back to life. So that's pretty awesome. So yeah, we need to re-shrink wrap that. But one of the other problems that I've been having with it was that in the 2-hole batteries that I flew before the the VTX stops working, was that I couldn't quite get the tune where I wanted it. There were some really weird flight behaviors, and I think I figured that out. It looks like the Beta FPV AIO board is kind of exactly the right size where it's touching the front standoffs, and that's always a big no-no. Like whatever board your gyro is on, that board needs to be as free as possible. It needs to be sitting up on the rubber gummies, just kind of floating, and it's not right now. It looks like the one of the front standoffs is pushing into the receiver wires. If the end of the board is like this, I have the receiver wires soldered down and then wrapped under the board, and that's where the standoff is. The standoff is right here, and it looks like it's touching those wires that are routed outwards. So that's my fault. That has nothing to do with part selection or the frame or anything else. I should have known that. I should have seen that earlier. And if this is the edge of the board, the rest of the board is here, I should have taken those wires that were like this and rotated them 180 degrees. And that's what we're going to do. Unfortunately, we need to tear the majority of the thing down to get to that. But hey, that's micros. The other option, now that I look at it, would have been to put the HD board down. The HD board is not as big as the AIO board. So if I'd put that on the bottom, it would have actually given the AIO board enough room to move upwards a little bit. So there's a little so this is where the standoffs go here, and there's a little sort of angle that's in the TPU to make sure that it's nice and strong here, and that's kind of the other bit of interference. Weirdo says duct tape. That's the other little bit of interference that's going on. So I could have cheated that by putting the Caddx HD board on the bottom, but again, I didn't. When I was doing final assembly, putting this front pod on, I did kind of notice that it was a little bit tight, and but I was already kind of like 4+ hours in, so the thought of tearing it down and troubleshooting that only flashed across my mind for a split second, and I just kind of thought, well, let's fly it and see if we'll be okay, and unfortunately we weren't. So, yeah, that's kind of how it goes. I'm not going to put that HD board on the bottom here tonight because, so last night on the stream, we got to talking about cameras, and I had mentioned that I have personally not had any luck with Foxeer or Caddx cameras since I got my rapid fire module, and basically whenever I've run a rig with a Caddx or a Foxeer camera in it, I've had to pull my goggles off, go into the rapid fire menu, scroll all the way over, turn off rapid fire mode 1, and go to either mode 2 or legacy, which, you know, I mean, 3 whole seconds of work, right? The most first world of problems. But I'd mentioned that was the reason why I'm sticking with RunCam cameras, because it's a well-known fact that Caddx and Foxeer, in the early days, I've now been educated by some people in the Immersion RC group that are obviously who've been working in, you know, RF for 50 years. If the sarcasm isn't coming across, I'm being sarcastic. But that hasn't been a problem with Foxeer cameras, at least since like the very early Foxeer cameras. I didn't know this because all of my Foxeer cameras are older. I had version 1. I had a version 1 Arrow and a version 1 Predator, and that's my fault. I should have, I guess, just bought all of the Foxeer cameras as they've come out to be able to test them before opening my mouth. But I didn't, because I can't afford that. This hobby has been on a very, very tight budget since the jump. And that's one of the reasons why I did micros in the first place rather than 5-inch rigs. And so yeah, I didn't do that, and I said something wrong, and that sucks. And I take that kind of shit very seriously. So yeah, I apologize for that to anybody who took what I said out of turn, out of context, or whatever. What I can say is that the Caddx Baby Turtle, which is a newer Caddx camera, still has this problem. So I can't speak to any of the newer Foxeer cameras because I just don't have any of those. And I try really, really hard not to really hard, actually, not to say anything that I haven't personally tested, and that I haven't personally tested like in depth. And you know, it's something that Kebab gets a lot of shit for, and always has. He does edits where he just like talks about theories that he has, and he specifically says like, this is just my theory. Sometimes he'll even put it up on the screen and leave it up on the screen, and he still gets trashed in the comments. And it's it's one of the things that I was really worried about from the get-go. It's one of the reasons why I didn't, where I basically never pointed the camera at myself until the streaming thing. Just because like it's really hard to do that, right? Like it's really hard to be 100% right 100% of the time, and to also be right for things that are going to happen in the future that you don't have any control over, right? And so yeah, that sucked, to have that kind of happen on the last day of this, when I was already kind of in a very weird place of feeling like a failure, and not wanting to wake up tomorrow and have to work on my resume, to be quite honest with you guys, and get on the job hunt, because it's something that, looking for jobs is something that's hard for me, and it really triggers the most negative parts of my brain. But I got to do it. I'm just gonna have to do it. So that sucks, but hey, back to reality, right? It's there's only a couple people who've been able to make FPV their living, and those people are very I don't know. They're better than me, and that's okay. There's plenty of people that are better than me, but just sucks, I don't know. Just spilled water on myself. So I got that going for me. But all right, enough of that shit. Let's sorry that those of you that are here just to escape had to deal with that. Have to listen to that, but yeah, let's get to work. The mic, okay. Hopefully nobody saw that. The microphone has changed. Don't be alarmed. When I work over here on the desk, I use the mic on the webcam here that is not quite as good. So first, I guess let's just shrink wrap this Ishii Nano so I don't forget. Actually, I might have a little extra piece here in this tray of goodies. And I think I do. I'll just clean this up a little bit here. And it's even the right length. Look at us go. Things are turning around already, guys. Can you guys see what I'm doing? Maybe? Yeah, kinda. Alright. Let's get this guy in here. So this, for anybody that doesn't know, this is TBS's, I believe it's maybe PVC based. It doesn't say on their packaging, but TBS sells these. I mean, it's just a specific kind of shrink wrap. It's a harder shrink wrap. Any shrink wrap that I've ever bought from Amazon has been this more stretchy, kind of softer stuff that's a little bit cloudy. And this TBS stuff is the more clear, hard plastic. I really like it. I really like to use this on VTXs to hold the UFLs on, because when this cools off, it is just hard as a rock, and it does a hell of a job holding the UFLs down to VTXs. And I've actually never had a UFL fail that I've shrink wrapped this down to, and I can't say the same about MMCXs. So I know it seems like MMCXs are the way to go, but the main problem that I have with MMCXs is retention. Like I've yet to find a really good way to hold the MMCX into the plug. I've also had them break in the plug, which is really bad. And yeah, that's kind of a big deal. Like the UFL without shrink wrap on it is way weaker, for sure. But with shrink wrap on it, in my experience, it has been much, much stronger. So UFL for life. And I just did this completely wrong. The comedy of errors has begun. Alright, so that's what I meant to do. I didn't need to put it over the head of the antenna there. Yeah, that looks good. That should work. I'm gonna leave that little angle in the UFL, and I'm gonna be a little bit more gentle this time, so that hopefully the one thing that this harder plastic shrink wrap does do that the rubber stuff doesn't, that is annoying, is if you get it even a little bit too hot, it will split. And that's what happened in the fourth or so hour of that build. So I will try to not do that this time. I will hold the flame. I will be less in a hurry, and I will hold the flame farther away. Yes, if I'd had a heat gun, that wouldn't have been a problem, but heat guns are big, and I try to keep my little workbench area small here. So for the love of God, stop telling me to get a heat gun. I'm never gonna get one. And if you guys send me one, I'm gonna do a giveaway with it. What do you think of that? Oh, that actually worked out really well. Amazingly, the shrink wrap shrinks in both directions, and it shrunk up just enough to kind of gap itself off of that button, which is pretty cool. That was nice of it. Thank you, shrink wrap. I appreciate you. So here's my worry, right? What I think is going on is there's this hole cut out in the bottom of the frame here to save weight, and I think what's happening is when I zip this thing down, I believe the VTX is kind of angling itself down into that hole, and that's what's allowing the I think that's allowing these solder points to maybe touch the carbon, and as we all know, carbon is conductive. So I'm going to do the easiest possible thing, I believe, and just put a piece of electric tape here. That should be plenty to isolate this, and it's kind of a simple, straightforward 3-second fix. And I mean, hey, it's called electric tape, so it's got to be good, right? Oh, I just realized I completely missed the completely fucking missed the chat. I'm sorry, guys. Ugh, bad streamer strikes again. Hold on, let me just get this done, and then I will go over and get caught up on the chat. Jesus, sorry guys, I'm a little out of sorts today. Alright, so I cut this a little bit big because I do want to try to maybe like wrap it, I guess. I don't want to cover that whole thing up because I like the idea of this gap. You guys can't see. I like the idea of this gap being here to let the VTX breathe a little bit. You know what? I'm not going to run this so wide. I'm going to cut this down a little bit so that it's just enough. All right. So let's just get this stuck down. When I'm trying to get tape into pain in the ass spots, I'll usually use the actually, I'm going to do one better. I'm going to loosen up this standoff, and I'm actually going to tuck it under the back of the standoff, and I'm going to let the standoff pinch it right into the carbon and that should do a plenty fine job of holding it in there. So just give me a second here. Let's just clean this so that the electric tape will stick. I mean, hell, technically I could even run it completely over the hole and just push the screw through the electric tape, but I'm not going to go that ham, I don't think. So I'll just butt it up against the screw here and stick it down. And that way we don't have to worry about the VTX shorting on the carbon anymore. There we go. Look at that, guys. Amazing technology. Okay, so now let's throw this standoff back on it here real quick. And just like that, all of our VTX problems are solved. Before I dive into the other issue here, though, I'm going to hit the chat and get caught up. Again, my apologies, guys. And so, yeah, there we go. Now that little fella is back down there, all insulated up. I can put this awesome little... This is not the intended usage for this, but it's a really good usage for it. This little divider sits in here perfectly and allows me to zip tie this the receiver and the VTX up. Actually, you know what I wanted to do? I did want to... Okay, I'm gonna do one more thing real quick. Sorry, guys. Sorry, chat. I'm coming over there. Just while this is on my mind, I'm gonna move this this battery wire to the bottom here. So since I'm when I ran the battery wires like this, I was assuming that I was going to zip tie the VTX and the receiver to the bottom plate, but then I realized that doing that would kind of be a pain in the ass with the way the bottom battery I almost said bag. It kind of is a battery bag on the bottom, right? But yeah, it's well, and I'm actually going to leave this unplugged too because I need to screw around with this. But yeah, once I realized that I was going to float this little sort of communications package, if you want to call it that. Oh, fuck me. All right. Well, this job just got harder because this antenna just pulled out of the little tiny micro UFL. So, all right, that's frustrating. All right, so I guess we get to fix that as well. That sucks a big bag of dicks. Okay, so let's put this here, and I will put this on, I think. Well, shit, what am I going to do with that antenna? If I put this on there, that micro UFL is going to be really pushed down. Maybe I'll put the once I fix the receiver, maybe I'll put it on the bottom, I guess, because I want the this antenna to be up higher. Yeah, I think that's what I'll do. I'll put this up on top above that guy. Yeah, okay. All right, well, we get to hold on, guys. Give me a second. Let me just I gotta just walk away from this for a second. All right, nobody freak out. We're not freaking out. Nobody's freaking out. We're not going to freak out. Nobody's freaking out. Doesn't do any good to freak out. Okay, I guess we're doing it all because everything's going to change when I move this this wire. Let me get caught up on the chat. Great. Atlanta curfews, 9 p.m. tonight and tomorrow night as well. The world is burning. All right. I'm still scrolled all the way to the top of the chat. Let's fix that. Where did I get to? Big Willie FPV, Ciati FPV, this is the end? No more dailies? No, unfortunately not, Big Willie. It didn't grow at all. Like if there was any amount of growth, I might be more able to kind of justify it, but we just kind of went up and down a bunch. I try not to look at YouTube analytics. Maybe that's part of the problem, I guess. But to give you guys some idea, yeah, to give you guys some idea of what I mean. So this is the last 28 days, and like, I don't know. I guess we could say that there was a tiny little bit of growth, but the majority of the growth were just these. I think this here was the bots. I think this was the couple days that Bardwell and I were getting slammed by the bots. Yeah, May 20th, May 21st. Yeah, so this jump was because of the bots. And this jump here was the tiny trainer, which yeah, that was kind of to be expected. I finally got some people kind of throwing a little bit of weight behind me in FPV Crate, spreading the link around and whatnot. So that was to be expected. But this spike here is. It's not. I can't rely on that, right? Like that's a very unique thing that probably won't happen again for, I mean, maybe ever. Yeah. So, yeah. I mean, just with no real growth here, and also the Patreon has shrunk quite a bit. It's down about 30 or so percent. In the last 28 days, yeah, it would just be completely reckless and just kind of insane for me to think that yeah, I could make something real out of this, which again is fine. I'm yeah, I don't know. I wanted to stream earlier, but I was afraid that this was going to happen. So yeah, I'm glad that I wasn't wrong, I guess. Sorry, guys. Paulie Lee, good evening, thumbs up. Thumbs up to you as well, Paulie Lee. Sorry I'm being such a fucking downer right now. Stuck in Trees loves the shirt. Thank you, brother. Somebody said last night, didn't you wear that shirt yesterday? And I said, yep, and I will keep fucking wearing it until there's some actual goddamn change. Mike Bergman, maybe you need a break. See, that I appreciate you saying that, Mike. Here's what's interesting about that. My fears coming into this were going to be that I was going to burn it out, and that I was going to burn out myself and FPV and streaming and all this stuff. And what's really interesting and kind of gives me hope is that I was more excited. I mean, yesterday and today are different, but I was more excited to stream 3 days ago than I've ever been. And it's been like that every day. Like, every day I've been more excited to do this than the previous day. And, like, I completely didn't expect, like, that was, yeah, that was insane. And I kind of, I think that kind of comes down to you guys, if I'm honest. Like, I've just really looked forward to coming and hanging out with you guys. Yeah, so, like, I don't want to stop. Like, I really don't want to stop. And I am going to try to do, like, short things as often as I can. But, yeah, I don't know what that's going to look like. So we'll see. But, yeah, I feel like I don't need a break. Maybe I do. Maybe I do need a break. Maybe I'm fooling myself. And, yeah, I don't know. But I don't feel burned out at all. I feel more more motivated than I ever have been before, which is strange. But I don't know. We'll see. Maybe taking a break will do me good. And I don't know. We'll see. Athix says, dude, you did great, and more than a lot of other people. Thanks, Athix. That's I just keep telling myself that. Eventually it'll set in. Weirdo, you did your best, and that's all you can do. I'm proud of you for that. Thanks, brother. Appreciate it. Daniel Maurer correctly saying that it's a really tough space to get into. You gave it real effort, and we all here enjoyed hanging out. It's been really valuable for me in this crazy time. I appreciate that, Dan. That's the kind of shit that like I tell myself, and that it sort of sets in. So I really do appreciate it. You guys have been super cool. Sorry, I'm getting so emotional. I'm a super emotional guy. Like, I'm not dying. I don't have the virus. But I don't know. I just invested a lot in this, and I don't know. I kind of fooled myself into thinking that it might work, and I don't know. I was a fucking idiot. It was a stupid thing to do. I tried to not let myself do it, and I fucking failed at that too. Yeah, I don't know. Dave's FPV says 31 days. I've got something tomorrow that I'm going to try to do. I'm going to try to do the Tiny Whoop build. I know I told you guys I was going to do that today, and I didn't, but hey. I'll try to do that tomorrow. Stuck in Trees is enjoyed every single day. Thank you. Thank you, brother. Thanks for being here. It means a lot. Fuck. Hold on, guys. I'll be right back. Here. All right, leaving that edit up because I know that I'm probably going to have to go back to it again. All right, working my way through the chat. Right, KD2RDH Larry. Very few people can turn their hobby into a career. If it was easy, I'd be retiring this year after 25 years of starting third baseman for the Phillies. Yeah, man, very, very true. And yeah, all things that that I knew going in. I went into this completely eyes opened, and I don't know. At some point, I just lost touch with reality. I guess, and I don't know. I just maybe I just kind of fell in love with it. I guess as a job, but is what it is, right? Weirdo with a skateboard. Just keep in mind that you can fail. Wait, you can fail at what you don't love, so you might as well try at what you do. I like the wording of that. Yeah, it's very true. Weirdo's proper salty to say cause I've got. Wait, what? Weirdo is proper salty to say cause he's got pressure fractures, but in but the shins. Weirdo, are you saying that? Wait. Do you have pressure fractures in your shins, or is that a European figure of speech that I'm missing? What's that mean, weirdo? Scrolling. Callie Higgins. This is Panic FPV. I'm on my wife's tablet. Oh, I got my gear in for the Twiglet build. I'm a little nervous. It's my first build, and it's small. The nervousness, Panic, rather. The nervousness will make you check things multiple times and hopefully find issues. So the nervousness is a good thing. That is activating your brain. You got this, man. Triple check everything. You'll be good. Experimental says, don't swap the Quaranstream. Sorry, brother. Weirdo says, duct tape. Space Truck and FPV. Gotta go watch a movie with the wife. Don't stop live streaming. I'm not gonna stop live streaming, but the dailies are gonna have to end. This has been fun and just found your channel. Happy flying, everyone. Well, Space Truck, and luckily you've got, depending on how recently you found the channel, you've got maybe 28, 29, 27 days worth of Christ, most of the streams were 2+ hours. I don't know how the fuck I managed to do that, but yeah, you've got a shitload of content for you, and the chats all stay with those previous streams, so you can even be hanging out with the other guys, because all these awesome people in the chat are just as knowledgeable as I am and have a lot of really good ideas to contribute. And that's been another one of the beautifully humbling things that has kind of come out of this. That I don't know, for whatever reason, the people that chose to stay are just very knowledgeable, super cool, smart, talented folks. So yeah, a lot of good content that is on the internet, so it's on the internet forever. Rob Lesnet with a $5 super chat. Rob, I hope you're still here. Sorry if you're not, but thank you, brother. Very, very cool of you. Just don't quit. Not going to quit. Don't worry about that. Do what you got to do. Just don't quit. I've learned a lot from you. I appreciate that, Rob. That's very cool to say. Definitely not going to quit, for sure. But it's just going to have to get... I mean, it's basically just going to go back to what it was. So, yeah. Experimental RC has a Foxeer Razor Nano, and the video is great, but the DVR exposer is blown out. Please help. I need to post some TT videos. So the only thing I can say is maybe look at getting a an external DVR. The intern Fox Fat Shark's internal DVR is just awful. It's just so shitty, and I've never seen any way of improving it, other than getting, like, I think that, oh no, they fucked up on the HDO2s. They didn't get the new better DVR in there, which is one of the reasons why I won't get the HDO2s. So I mean, I guess. So the Orcas, the Orca goggles have the better DVR unit in them, or if you want to stick with your current goggles, you're gonna have to just get an external DVR. There's a bunch of different options. I went with the Immersion RC PowerPlay because it also functions as a battery and an external screen, which are two things that I personally needed. There are some less expensive external DVRs out there. I can't think of their names at the moment, but I think you can find them pretty easily. I think Foxier maybe makes one of them. I think I know that FXT makes one. The company FXT makes an external DVR. If you just do like a YouTube search for FPV space external space DVR, I'm sure you'll find a lot of good folks that have done edits with them. I believe that's the only option for you. Like I said, the Fat Shark internal DVRs are just awful. So yeah, sorry I don't have a better answer. Sorry I don't have an answer for you that doesn't cost something. I hate when I can't solve something with, I hate when the solution is, hey, spend more money, because yeah, there was a long time before you guys were supporting me here that that wasn't a real answer for me. I had to kind of like fix everything. Yeah, but I guess at least there is a solution. Looking at the brighter side. Weirder the Skateboard says, well, you did the best you could. You could have, but we're proud of you for that, mate. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Big Willie says, you're still going to stream Sundays and Mondays, right? Yep. Still going to suck up all those juicy leftover exposure bucks from Joshua Bardwell. Speaking of, huge thank you to Joshua. He's the only reason why I had the guts to do this, and he's the one who gave me the initial push to start live streaming, and continues to be cool enough to give me shout outs at the end of his streams, which yeah, I mean, that Joshua's the real thing, man. He's the real thing. Guillermo asks, how old are you? I am 39 now. I turned 39 last month. Larry says, don't answer if it's too personal, but did your old job say that they were going to bring you back if things picked back up? Just wondering. They kind of sort of did lead us to believe that they were going to bring us back, but some things have happened since then. And I didn't like that job. It was in healthcare, and it was very hard on my mental health. One of the best things that's happened for my mental health was getting let go from that job. Unfortunately, one of the harder things on my mental health is searching for a job. So the reason that I stayed at that job so long, even though I hated it, was that mentally I was in a place, mental health wise, I was in a place that was better than the place that I go to when I have to hunt for a job. So I just kind of held on to it for as long as I could. I was kind of already on the bubble as sort of the worst employee that like the worst employee in the team that I was on. So if they're gonna bring people back, I won't be one of them, I don't think, unless they get desperate, and I doubt that they'll get desperate. So yeah, I mean, technically speaking, maybe they'll bring me back, but I shouldn't. If maybe, see, I don't know. when we moved down here, we kind of had the same situation where I said, okay, I hate this job. I'm going to get away from it. But being on the job hunt just demolished me, as it always has. And when they came to me and said, hey, we have a remote work opportunity for you, I was like, holy fuck, thank God, because I was about to jump off the goddamn roof. So yeah, I accepted that, and it was a steady decline of my performance in that new department, because I don't like it. I don't like being in the healthcare world. It's an evil place, and hopefully I didn't just super offend anybody out there, but my experience, that's what I need to say, is that my experience in healthcare has been that it's an evil, soul-sucking, it's just nasty. It's nasty to have to be the one to take people's benefits away, and yeah, it's not good. It's no good, but Athix says, we're still here for you. JB gets it wrong from time to time. Support you because I see the value that you bring. I appreciate that, man. Yeah, it's impossible to not get it wrong from time to time. I guess I didn't mention this, but I don't take negative criticism all that well. I take constructive criticism very well. But somebody saying "fuck you, you're an asshole," I don't take that well, and that's a real problem of mine, and that's just something that I have to, I have to get over, and it's, again, it kind of goes back to, like, that's one of the reasons that I never pointed the camera at myself, because I was always afraid of that. I was always afraid of the way that I know that I react to that, and I am old enough to kind of. Pushing 40 years old, my ability to change is not what it once was. My ability to know myself has gone through the roof. But my ability to kind of improve myself and change the things that I hate about myself is I don't want to say it's gone, but it's not what it was. So there's shit about myself that I just have to kind of go, okay, that is me, and I've tried to change it. I haven't been able to, and that's okay. At least I tried, right? And yeah, that's kind of one of those things. So when I was brought face to face with that this morning, it was another kind of reminder of, like, hey man, you're not cut out for this. Like, this is not the space for you, because it's gonna happen more and more, and it's gonna get worse and worse. Yeah, I don't know. Whatever. Stuck in trees. Just remember that even though everyone is at home, they're more reluctant to spend their money. Absolutely. Stuck in trees, dead on the money. I mentioned that really early on. Like, hey, I'm gonna try this. Yes, everybody's at home watching, and actually, I talked about that on Joshua's stream yesterday. I shouldn't open my mouth, and it was not something that I should have been bringing up on his stream, but he had asked me what was going on, and I'm honest to a fault. Case in point, and I'd said, hey, tomorrow's gonna have to be the last day. It's just not working, and Joshua said, surely things have grown for you in the last 30 days, and yeah, he's like, there's no way that with you putting out that much content that things haven't taken off for you, and I said to him, my assumption is that, hey, I'm not the only one that's lost their job. Plenty of folks are losing their jobs and just don't have the money to support, and that's it's nobody's fault, right? It's China's fault. They made the virus. Yeah, it's nobody's fault. You guys have been mind-numbingly cool and generous and inspiring, right? Like the Patreon was pretty new to me before this adventure, and it's incredibly humbling that so many of you were. Here we go again. So many of you were so generous. Yeah, it's goddamn. I say it a lot, and you guys are probably sick of me saying it so much, but I have to say it over and over again. That you guys are just fucking amazing, and yeah, I don't know. Can't go down that path because I'll have to walk away again. Experimental RC, I probably will anyway. Because once it's like a snowball going downhill with me. Experimental RC has the Foxier Razor Nano, and it's really good on the goggles, but when I replay the DVR, the exposure is blown out. Please help. I want to fly my tiny trainer and get some DVR. So I think we already talked about that, but Experimental, if you have any other follow-up questions, let me know. Marco just tuned in. You got a bunch to. Well, I'm probably about an hour old in the fucking chat here. I'm assuming that you're up to speed by now. Weirdo with a skateboard. Well, lads, just too tired, so I'm out. Enjoy the stream. Stay safe. Just duct tape it, mate. I will try, brother. You're probably gonna watch this on repeat. Shout out to Weirdo on repeat. Now we're talking. Finally, somebody's got my back. Two Stroke Me's got my back. He says heat guns are for pussies. Oh shit. Mike Bergman, you better be in here still, dude. Thank you. Fuck. Mike Bergman with $100 super chat. That's incredible, man. Thank you so much. Jesus. We love you, brother. Shit will fall into place. I went through this exact same thing a few weeks ago. Crushed me, actually, but things are more normalized fast. Please throw this in the bank. That I will. And buy a little time, peace of mind. I bet... Mike says, I bet you guys won't match this super chat. Fuck, Mike. Thanks, dude. Very, very cool of you. Alright. Shit. Yeah. Humbled. You guys humble me in the best way possible. Here's more of me flying. Alright, moving on. In the chat, we've got Griffin FPV. What's up, brother? Hope all is well. Hope all is well with you, Griffin. Thanks for coming, man. Guillermo says, relax. turn off the camera and call it a day. In the future, maybe you put the bar too high. Maybe. Yeah. Maybe I did, but you got to put the bar high if you want to get to that sort of greatness. And I do firmly believe that in order to make it, you have to be up there. You have to put the bar high, in my opinion, to get to that level to be good enough. Yeah, and I'll keep working on it. I'm gonna keep going. But yeah, the guys that make it are the really, really extraordinary ones. And if it were easy, everybody would do it. Athix says Facebook message rather. Thanks, Athix. I'll catch that afterwards. After we're done streaming here. I'm not gonna turn off the camera. I appreciate that, Guillermo, but I made a commitment to you guys, and we're only an hour in, and I tried to. I think I did 2+ hours on every single one of these, and I'm not gonna fucking stop now. I don't care if all you guys go. I'm sure it's cringy as fuck having to see me walk away every 15 minutes to whatever. But yeah, I don't care. At this point, I'm doing this as much for me as I am for anything else. And yeah, I'm gonna finish strong. 30 days. I said I would do 30 days, and I'm fucking doing 30 days. Dark Sagan, look at the damn chat already. It will make you happy. Thanks, Dark. Mike Bergman says, you needed the break, not need a break. You needed the... Oh, yeah, Mike. That's true. Yeah, this was my break. Yeah, it's funny. I didn't think about that. Yeah. Dark says, thanks for wearing the shirt and bringing awareness. Hell yeah, Dark. Just being me. Yeah, and I mean, shit like this, you know, me wearing this shirt, I'm sure turns people off. Potentially half, right? Half the country, at least. A little bit less than half, if we're honest. Yeah, I don't know. There are things that I will never be willing to overlook or ignore or not talk about, and that's another thing that just, you know, makes it more difficult for me, right? But I don't care about that. It's if I have to silence my values, then it's not worth it. You know, it's I'm not going to be somebody who I'm not just to be successful, just to make it work. That's bullshit. That's the easy way out. Fuck that. Nah. When it comes to like right and wrong, yeah. It's yeah. William Barlow, this has been my daily getaway from all the bullshit going on in my life. Push through, brother. I wish I could, William. I really do. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Braden, for me personally, I'm a huge fan of the content, but normally my schedule doesn't allow me to watch the stream every night. Not sure how many others are in my position. Yeah, Braden, that's it's funny. A bunch of people have told me, like, yo, you got to schedule your streams. I've not scheduled the streams specifically to try to kind of cater to guys like you who just, you know, have a schedule that doesn't allow them to watch whatever, an 8 o'clock stream or a 6 o'clock stream. I tried my best to kind of leave these be spontaneous and alter when I came on so that people from, you know, people in different time zones, people with different work schedules could catch it and be a part of it. But yeah, I could have definitely done a better job with that. My sleep schedule got really fucked up, and I tried really hard to get it back on track, and I just fucking failed miserably. But yeah, that made it hard. I was not able to wake. I wanted to wake up early and do earlier streams. But I did a pretty shitty job at that, and that's on me. But yeah, hopefully the, 60 hours? Jesus Christ, 60 plus hours of streams that you can replay are good enough for you, brother. Sorry I couldn't. Sorry I didn't get a stream. Well, apparently other than this one right now, which is probably the worst in the series in terms of FPV content, at least. But yeah, sorry there weren't more streams that you could catch. But I'm super glad that you were able to catch this one. I wish it was a little bit more on topic, but better late than never, maybe. William Barlow with 1999 and no comment. William Barlow, thank you so much, dude. Very, very cool of you. Very, very cool of you, dude. Much appreciated. Brent Vogel saying, 30 plus days and you have FPV companies looking at you. It took me 30 days to get the parts I've paid for. Yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I have a tiny, tiny, tiny little bit of momentum here. Yeah, we'll see. I've told you guys all of the positive and good and hopeful things about the relationships with the manufacturers. I haven't really shared the ones who haven't gotten back to me or just straight up said no for obvious reasons. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Copter 612 with 429. Thank you, Copter. Copter 612, thanks for the 420, man. I appreciate it very much. Nachi Motors can suck a D. Indeed. Indeed. Spearmental RC, take your time. We will be here. Thanks for that, dude. That's huge. I appreciate that. Panic FPV, you got me into micros, and I will always come to you and your channel, man. I appreciate that. Panic. I almost called you Callie. I appreciate that, Panic. Yannick G, we all respect you even more for trying. Thanks, dude. That's super cool of you. Guillermo, you must take care of you first. Indeed, I do. Unfortunately, these, as Mark kind of perfectly put it above, these 30 days were me taking care of me, and I think that's why I'm kind of torn up. That's coming to an end here, but yeah, I fucking tried, man. I really did. Danger Commando, dude, relax. The thing you try to pull out in 30 days, it's really hard. It's not that you're intelligent. It's not that you're not talented. I think you must put pause a little bit. Talk to someone close to you about it. Thanks, Danger. I have done that, and this wasn't. So the 30 days was a big acceleration of what I've already been doing for like 7-8 months, right, guys? Well, let's look. I'm actually curious now. Joshua Bardwell gave me a huge opportunity. Came down here and did one of his live streams on his channel with a big ass audience, of course, with me. Brought me onto his stream and gave me a huge kick in the ass. And that took me from, let me just go into all uploads. And that took me from like 1,000-ish subscribers up to 3,000 pretty quickly. And then it just, it really just kind of completely flattened out after that. And so I kept going and going and going. I just kept pushing as hard as I could, working a full-time job and just pushing as much time into FPV as I could and the streams as I could. I really thought that the giveaways were gonna be like the it sounds so stupid, but like the key to success. I really thought that by doing the 5 giveaways every Monday and then down to 4, and then eventually I was able to really get I was able to really budget the the giveaways in a way that, because I got a little carried away at first and wasn't even breaking even, but then I learned and became better at budgeting and finding sales on stuff and getting stuff for the giveaways that wouldn't bankrupt me, so that I could use some of the Patreon money for buying tests, and there was a rough month or two where I actually did have to use the Patreon money for life, and my God, I will never thank you guys enough for that. But yeah, it was. It's not like I tried to do it. If I tried to do all of this in 30 days, I mean, I would be. That would just be the most ridiculous thing ever. Yeah, this has been quite a build up. Let me find the. So it looks like it's 9. It was 9 months ago that I was on Joshua's channel, and previous to that, I'd been building. Just kind of working my ass off for years, for 3+ years on FPV, making edits, putting edits up as often as I could, as often as the mental illness allowed me to. So yeah, this has been something that's been in the making, and I've been working a lot harder at trying to, reach out to people in the industry more and do collaborations and shit like that. That's the kind of stuff that, looking back, I probably should have done better with. But yeah, it's. I feel like the last 30 days were like my chance. Like that was kind of it. It was the stars aligned, and I waited and I waited and I waited and I waited for something like that to happen. And I don't know. I just felt like the stars kind of aligned. Everybody was at home. Everybody was looking for an outlet, somebody to bring normalcy, and stuff like that. So yeah, whatever. Mr. Sprinkles, is the Flywoo Goku 40 amp 20x20 ESC a good ESC? Sprinkles, as I called out early in the stream, I don't give recommendations for parts that I haven't personally used hard. Not just put in a rig and maidened and wow, it works. Crashed a whole bunch. And or had somebody whose opinion I trust say to me that it's good. And unfortunately, I have zero experience with that ESC. The only 20x20 35 amp ESC that I can say good things about is the Acon AK32. I have had that in a rig that I've crashed the shit out of, and it has survived. I also had one in the Acrobrat, and it. Well, one of them didn't survive, but I wouldn't expect it to survive dealing with 6S oscillations on a 3800 kV motor. So that one failed, and I completely... it would have been... No other ESC would have survived what happened there. Basically, I was on 6S. I raised the throttle scale too high, and it got into an oscillation with extremely high kV motors on 6S, and that just creates... an unfathomable amount of heat, and that ESC failed. But I've had another one in a 5-inch rig that I've bashed the shit out of, and it's completely fine. So unfortunately, that's the only big amperage 20x20 ESC that I can say good things about. If you talk about smaller ESCs, 20 amp, 25 amp, 30 amp, the SpeedX IS and GS series are fantastic. If you can find it, the SpeedX GS25 is my personal favorite micro ESC. It's BL Heli 32, and 25 amps is enough amperage for any of these micromotors. That ESC, I believe, is discontinued, so the second best thing, in my opinion, is now the SpeedX IS30. It is BL Heli S, but that doesn't make as much of a difference nowadays with Jazz Maverick and JESC and all that shit. But yeah, those are the only ones that I can really call out. KD2RDH Larry, do streams do better for money, super chats and all, or getting lots and lots of viewers make money? Most people won't watch 2 hours to hopefully find the answer to a problem. So yeah, streams are kind of the only way to make any money on YouTube without having tens, if not hundreds of thousands of subscribers. and just a huge viewership. To give you some idea, YouTube basically pays out a tenth, I believe it's a tenth of a penny per view. It might be a hundredth of a penny. It's either a tenth or a hundredth of a penny per view. So to make any money from YouTube off of views on your videos is just unbelievably difficult. And so yeah, my just realistically, I didn't think, and after talking to lots and lots of people about it, they agreed that trying to make any kind of a living off of that would be just, it's just a terrible idea. So I didn't go that route, and it might have kind of bit me, right? Because in the grand scheme of things, if I'd managed to build a huge viewership, this thing might have worked. But it's much easier said than done. So realistically, I mean, Christ, I've been trying to do that for 11 years on YouTube. For 11 years, I've been making edits for myself, admittedly, but then spending time putting them up on YouTube, and pushing them out, sharing them, sending them to friends, and I am where I am, and I've gotten. Let me just chop that and not go down that path, because I don't like talking about that side of subscribers and viewership, and I don't. That's a weirdly unauthentic conversation that I really don't want to have. But yeah, I mean that's a good point, Larry. I should have done a better job of making shorter streams with better titles, so that people could use them as quicker knowledge bases. I should have done a way better job with that. That's a complete fuck up on my part, but hey. Sometimes you learn shit the hard way. Marco Danilovic. Dude, don't use the failure line. I am using it in jest. I would like to think that deep down inside I don't actually believe that, but God knows. My brain is a deep, dark, shitty place sometimes. If you think you haven't built something here that's wrong, these people are here for your content in any form that works for you. It's just a glitch. Thanks, dude. I appreciate that, Marco. Larry's saying exactly what I just said. Maybe quick hitter videos could be made to draw the people in. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Daniel, thanks, dude. Daniel Maurer with $20 super chat, dude. Much appreciated. Very cool of you. Quaranstream Day 31 funds, $20. Yeah, like I said, I'm gonna try to do that beta Whoop build tomorrow if I can just keep it together. I don't know what tomorrow morning. I'm afraid to wake up tomorrow morning. I don't know what mental state I'm gonna have to deal with, but I'll find out soon enough. Daniel rightly calling out, we're actually 154.20 for tomorrow's Quaranstream fund. Yeah, for sure. I'm gonna try really hard to be back tomorrow, guys. Yeah, I'm gonna try as hard as I can. Big Willie FPV found a job where he works with his friends. It's not what I went to college for, and it's hard work, but having a support system like working with 5 close friends 5 days a week on a crew is great. Yeah, Big Willie, I've had a similar experience. Job where I was working with people that I consider to be true friends, and I've been chasing that ever since. I got a glimpse of it again in the last 30 days, working with my best friend in the world, my wife Kristen, and hanging out with you guys. And yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it is a special thing. And it's arguably more important than a good, right, job, or a good paying job. So Larry says, get into the oil chemical industry. We're all out of our minds most of the time. I think it's the fumes. I will take a look into that, Larry. If you hear about any project management openings in that industry, let me know. Zach Barnes loves everything you're doing. Don't be too hard on yourself. I'm an overthinker and someone who's often hard on myself. You're in good company, Zach. Big Willie FPV, I think you'd be awesome as a hobby shop owner, manager, repairman. That's interesting. Never really thought to work in a hobby shop. That's interesting, though. Yeah. Good thought. Thanks for that. Big Willie, tell me to keep up the big work. Thank you, dude. God damn it, YouTube. God damn it, YouTube. Scrolling back up, of course, if you guys couldn't already guess. Hey, there we go. Mark Kunoff, you demand, keep your perspective. That I will, Mark. It's very important to do that. Chan Wang, let's do some TMT. Oh, Chan Wang with the comment of the night, for sure. Mike Bergman, I'm here, brother. Thanks, dude. I appreciate that. Tiago Ramos, damn, dude, you're ready to strike Death Star. I'm ready to strike Death Star. What's that mean? Chan Wang sending some love on top of the funniest comment of the night. Rob Axelson, dude, what did I miss? You seem emotional. Things okay? Yeah, Rob, just rewind. I can't go back into it without falling apart. Yannick G didn't tag me, but I just happened to see it because Bot's name is in it. Speaking of dudes having a bad time, how's Botgrinder doing? So, speaking of perspective, yeah, there are people that are going through something much worse than me. I'm just an extremely emotional person. I spent a lot of time growing up with my mother, who was also a very emotional person, so I guess I picked that up from her. Being a very emotional person is great 90% of the time, and not so great 10% of the time. And we're in the 10% right now, so it's hard, but not the end of the world. Yeah, sorry, Rob. I can't go back into it without falling to pieces. But yeah. Daniel Maurer, yes, but day 5 was literally 9. Was it really? No, day 5 was not 9 hours, was it? Where the hell's day 5? Holy fuck! Day 5 was 8 hours and 59 minutes. What the hell did we? Oh, editing. Jesus. Oh, look at this. There's some that are less than 2 hours. Okay, yeah, I didn't hit 2 hours on all of them. Quick FPV glide talent fix, an hour 8, an hour 40. Okay. So I guess I don't have to do 2 hours tonight. Yeah, there's another one, hour 26. All right. Day 5 was literally 9 hours, so I think you could forgive yourself for cutting tonight's stream by 1 hour. Rob Axelson, never lose your voice. Stay true to yourself. I try very hard to follow that mantra every day, Rob. For sure. Techno FPV. Anybody that gets into this hobby will... Thanks for normalizing it, Techno FPV. Anybody that gets into this hobby will have a fucked up sleep schedule. Glad it's not just me. Rob Axelson, direct any complaints to me. I'll deal with them directly. Well, there you go, Rob. There's the only real... there's been a couple that I've just deleted. But, yeah, it hasn't happened much, but... I appreciate you guys, and there have been a couple times that you guys have kind of stuck up for me, and that's super cool. I make it a point to do that for everybody that I follow, and it's nice to see that kind of come back. Oh, so yeah, speaking of Botgrinder, I've been remiss in keeping you guys updated with the GoFundMe that I started for his little brother. If you don't know, again, I hope not out of place in talking about this, but I think that I'm not. DJ Crasher, Bot Grinder's younger brother committed suicide last weekend. So that guy's got real problems to deal with. You're looking at me falling to pieces over first world problems. Yeah, he's got real stuff to actually deal with. I felt pretty helpless to that. So I decided to start a GoFundMe in memoriam of his little brother Blake Crasher, and it kind of blew up more than I ever imagined it to. I had made the goal $200, and that was blasted past like almost on the first day. So that was pretty cool. For some reason, I can't figure out how to get it to show up in Google Chrome. So hold on, let me just. Sometimes for us aging 39-year-olds, the internet is hard. Why? Like, I'm logged into GoFundMe, but it won't show me the goddamn. Hang on. Maybe I have to go to Facebook and hit the link that I posted on my own page, I guess. I don't know. Hold on. Scroll past all of the Antifa posts in my personal Facebook page. There it is. All right, let's see if this will work. Yeah, there it goes. Holy shit. Okay. That, wow. Okay. So I made this in the name of FPV therapy. I didn't want this to have anything to do with me. I wanted it to do with more about everything and anything mental illness related. So this GoFundMe, was supporting NAMI, the North American Alliance for Mental Health. So all of this is going to NAMI, and yeah, like I said, I set the target at $200, and we blew past that. And Jesus Christ, I had no idea it got all the way up to $600. So that's just amazing. The FPV community it can be a really cool place. It isn't always, but more often than not, it's a pretty amazing place, and I think this is a really good example of that. So thanks to everybody who's donated. Yeah, this is pretty cool, man. This is that's awesome. So yeah, some people have real problems. Perspective is always really important. Mark Kunoff says torrential downpours, hurricane force winds. The battery was wrapped around a branch and it never would come down. LOL. That sucks, Mark. I'm assuming that you lost one up in a tree. Never give up hope, though. I've heard of people losing them like years prior and they find them. So don't give up hope, man. Keep checking. Experimental RC, there is always tomorrow. That there is experimental. That there is. Scrolling. Cement Kid. Fucker. Come on, YouTube. Oh, alright. I'm almost caught up. Cement Kid. How did the job hunt go? How did the... Ooh, good. Okay. I swear that was a flub. I didn't mean to say that word. My apologies. How did the job hunt go today, bud? Didn't have it in me to do it today, Cement. But tomorrow is when it starts. Days FPV. Hey man, you did good to us all here. So for this, cheers. So for that, I cheers this hit to you. Thanks, Dave. I appreciate it, man. You're probably wrecked off that by now, eh? Mike Bergman, the Whoop Build. I seriously can't freaking wait for that one. Very cool, Mike. Me either. I was really looking forward to do it today. It really pissed me off today that I couldn't. I just couldn't get my shit together to do it. But yeah, that's me. RDQ says. Larry says. KD2 RDH Larry. RDQ says in every email that they're hiring FPV professionals. Are you up for moving to Orlando? I wouldn't. No, I can't move to Florida. Yeah, can't move to Florida. Next, hopefully, next time that Kristen and I move, it will be to Portland-ish area. But we'll see. Tiago Ramos, the parking lot you fly looks like the Death Star path. Oh. Nice, Tiago. Love it. I'll probably never get to fly that spot again because now that in their infinite wisdom, Georgia decided to ignore all the scientists and reopen the state. Yeah, spots like that will never be flown again, which is okay. It's neat to have some of these flight edits that it's just like, yeah, nobody else will ever fly that, right? Like, that's kind of cool. Experimenter SC says, man, it would be cool instead of doing Sunday and Monday to do like Monday and Tuesday. I would love that as well. Experimental. I streaming on Sundays is hard for me, but and maybe I will change now. Now that there's really kind of no more emphasis on trying to make anything out of this. So when I did have that sort of carrot on a string of maybe this becoming something, I was absolutely, I would just always stream on Sundays and Mondays after Joshua, because those were the only days that I would really get new viewers. Because at the end of his streams, he's still doing this, which is just so incredible. And yeah, it's just so amazing that he continues to do this. At the end of his streams, he says, hey guys, if you want more content, head on over to Ciati's stream. And he's got a huge viewership. So that's why I've always made sure to do Sundays and Mondays. But yeah, now, fuck it. Yeah, I guess I can kind of pick my own days. And if I had to pick my own days, it probably wouldn't be a Sunday. Although the flip side of that is Sunday at 3 o'clock is a really good time for the EU crowd. Yeah, once I'm back working 9 to 5, Monday to Friday, I won't be able to do that during the week. So, I don't know. I'll figure something out. Marley Leppo with 20 Norwegian kroner. Thank you, Marley. Very cool of you. What's up, everybody? Mike Bergman, dude, you should look into learning paintless PDR, paintless dent repair. You can be your own boss, make bank, and be able to kick it with the wife as much as you want. My life changed when I entered PDR. Interesting, Mike. I never thought about that as a career. When I bought my second black car, way back when, which was the Miata, I decided to learn, because you kind of have to if you're going to own black cars and you want them to look not horrible. I decided to learn detailing and spent a ton of time learning detailing, buying gear, just sucking up all the knowledge I could. So I'm actually half decent at detailing and paint correction and all that fun stuff. So PDR is kind of relevant to that. Interesting. Mike, would you mind shooting me a message somewhere, letting me know what tips you would have for somebody that's looking to get into PDR? Because the area that I'm in, Alpharetta, is so. To give you guys some idea, I've got a friend that works at a place that does wraps, and here in Alpharetta, and it's like a joke, dude. It's crazy. Their business is just exploding because it's just constantly Teslas and Lambos and Ferraris, and like it's crazy the amount of money and people with fancy cars that want them to look perfect in this area. So PDR is gonna fall right in the same kind of interesting. If you don't mind, dude, at some point, not now for sure. If you ever have a couple free minutes, yeah, That's very interesting. Thanks for that. Hey, Daniel, thanks for dropping those links. Very cool. Links above to the GoFundMe, to NAMI's website, to FPV therapy. Rob Axelson, you know what tomorrow is, don't you? Oh, thanks, Rob. Rotten Tomato, thanks for a month of good content. It's been a rough month, and your content helps with some levity. I appreciate that, man. Portland, Maine, or Oregon? Oregon, Big Willie. Yeah, we're for a lot of reasons that I won't get into because that'll just be a whole other goddamn diatribe to get on. Well, we're at an hour 45. I guess we might as well push through to 2 hours. Round it out on that number. It's been a good number for us, right? Fuck it, we can do 15 more. Mark Kunoff says, "Go back, you missed it." All right, going back. Going back. I don't want to go so far back. I already went pretty far back. Oh, here, I think you just reposted it. A twig was in a tree. It came down today, not because of the drone. LO. Retrieved it, and it's actually working. Ripped a few packs. That's right. You said that yesterday, Mark. I'm sorry. I completely forgot. Rob Axelson, PDR, you better have strong wrists. All right, well, never mind. Yeah, never mind. I've got the least strong wrists that you'll ever find. Yeah, not going to work. It's one of the reasons why I stopped doing detailing, because it started to really bother my forearms and my hands. So, yeah. Thanks for the idea, though. Good idea. We'll talk in your Patreon. Cool. Wraps are cheap paint jobs. That they are. Have you ever tried flying Cinewhoops? Darwin H. asks. So I, Stan FPV, shout out to Stan FPV, actually, sent me his business card that I'm looking for to give him props. Stan FPV sent over a few sets of his ducts, which I thought were right there, but apparently they're not. And I turned my one Acrobrat into a Cinewhoop and did some flying with it. What I learned was, without a subject, I got really bored really quickly. Just kind of floating around dead level, I would just get bored, and I would start doing flips and rolls and dives, and I broke a few of the ducts because of that. Yeah, it's if I were shooting things where I had subjects, I would probably get a dedicated Cinewhoop frame. The Acrobrat makes an okay Cinewhoop. The problem with the V1 Acrobrat was battery space. There's just not enough space on the battery tray to hold a big enough battery to get good runtime. The Acrobrat Duo would be better for that because there's the rear of the battery tray area is much more open. But I never quite got around to. I still have the Duo here. At some point, the V1 will get. Well, I broke the fucking V1 frame, another V1 frame the other day. And I think that was the last one. So, yeah, it'll go into the Duo frame, and then I will try this again on the Duo with the ducts. But it would be nice at some point to have a Cinewhoop. I've kind of stayed away from it because I just haven't had a reason to build one, right? Like I haven't had subject-driven anything to use it with, for, on, whatever you want to say. So yeah, there's that. But I'm super interested in it. I really want to build one, but it's just been one of those things where it's like, the what little money that we've got here, I want to be very. I've always tried to be very calculated with the FPV money, and put it into things that you guys are going to want to see and that I'm going to use a lot. It's really easy to kind of. It's why I actually waited so long to build the toothpick, because I'd sort of been down that path, and I'd moved away from it, and I didn't. And then when that all of a sudden became like the new fancy shiny thing, I kind of said, well, yeah, but I'm gonna save that money. I'm not just gonna throw money at the new fancy shiny thing. And with Cinewhoops, it was kind of the same deal. It was just like, yeah, that would be super fun to jump on the bandwagon and build one, but am I gonna use it? And that's why I tried to do it with the Acrobrat. The thought process was, well, if I can just convert a rig that I've already got over, then that's the best. That's the cheapest way to at least try it, right? So. Yeah, I don't know if there's a reason for one. I mean, like I said, when I get the Acrobrat into the Duo frame, I will try it again with the stand ducks. I still have, I think I still have 6 of them left. But in terms of spending $100 on a Cinewhoop frame, until I have a reason to do that, I probably won't. I hope that makes sense. Mike says he's a pro. It's not. Mike says it's not about strong wrists, it's about technique. You're good, man. Okay, cool. That's why I'm so skinny, actually. In life in general, you can. I'm pretty certain that I'm the weakest of anybody in this chat right now. Not like physically weakest, right? Which is fine. I've chosen to not spend a shitload of time in the gym to get ripped, bro. Because in life, I've found that I can beat. So I'm already 6'2". People that are 6'2", when they get ripped and get shredded, they become like 250, 300 pounds. And motorsports, if you're 250, 300 pounds, you're at an actual disadvantage. Like especially in karting, you're at a legit disadvantage. I got into motorsports like pretty much like 20 years ago, 15, 20 years ago. And that's always kind of been my thing. It's like, well, I can't get shorter. I'm stuck being 6'2". I don't really have, I work in offices. I always have desk jobs, right? Because that's kind of what I went to school for. That's what my career is in. That's what I can make the most money doing. That's what I tend to be the happiest doing. Yeah, I've just always remained a skinny dude to keep the amount of weight I'm putting in the car that I'm going to be driving as low as possible. And living life as an incredibly skinny dude, I can tell you guys, just like PDR, it's all about technique. It's very rare that I run into a situation where I literally just don't have the strength to do something. So, yeah. Weird tangent to get off on, but hey. Darwin H. built a Copus today, flew it around, and found it amazing. There you go. Darwin H. is a fan of the Copus. Maybe go get you one. Ranflin Diaz says, question, I want to buy a 3-inch quad. I'm thinking about an Eachine LAL3. What batteries can I pair with that drone? So I have absolutely no idea what that rig is. Let's take a look. Eachine LAL3, eh? I'm glad that I've been trying to force myself to say A more because I like it. I think it's one of the best things that the Canadians have brought to the English language. I hope that's not a I hope that's not a weird thing to say. All right, here we go. Eachine. Oh, look, it's a mini alien. That's why it's awesome. Wait, no. You didn't say that you loved it, did you? It was the Copus that Darwin said. That's right. Okay. So, let's see. 175 grams all up. That's not bad. Dude. Ishin. Way to build a micro alien. This is like the frame format that I've been shouting from the rooftops for frame manufacturers to make for about 2.5 years. Looks like Ishin finally came around. That's pretty awesome. Where the fuck? Okay, so it's on 1408s at 3750 kV. So 3750 kV is a 4S kV for sure. But 1408s are a hell of a thirsty motor. An 8mm tall stator will just like obliterate any battery that you hook it up to. So I think the smallest battery you're gonna, so I would love to recommend a 4S 450, but I don't think you're gonna be able to get away with that unless you scale the throttle. Sorry guys, unless you scale the throttle down, which is a totally valid thing. I mean, you're gonna be carrying around extra grams on the ends of the arms for no reason, which kind of sucks. But yeah, that if it was any small, if it was a 1407 or a 1406, which doesn't exist, or just a smaller motor, I would say 4S 450, like no questions asked. But with that thirsty of a motor, I think you're going to want to go 4S 650 or maybe even 4S 850. Definitely 4S 650 though. But like I said, if you're willing to pay the price of kind of carrying around some extra grams on the end of the arms for no reason, that rig, in my opinion, will fly best with 4S 450s, and I would probably scale the throttle down to like 80% maybe in the new in Betaflight 4.2. So, but yeah, good looking frame. Very cool. I'm looking for a picture of the bottom. All right, so this is going to be the weak point right here on this frame. If you break this frame, it's going to break in this little spot here. Let me zoom in. It's going to break. Let me make sure that OBS zooms in when I zoom in. Okay, it does. Okay, good. Because I'm using like the system zoom here. So if you manage to break this frame, it'll break right there. It'll connect to that. And it might not connect up here. It might just break here. But yeah, unfortunately, that's going to be a definite weak point. The good news is Ishin has the weave going in the correct direction, which is awesome. So that is fantastic. But yeah, unfortunately, they should have beefed this up here a little bit. 99% of the microframes that are out there have a weak point like this in them, and it's the only thing I can. On one hand, I want to say, like, I don't understand why these frame manufacturers can't get this right, but at the same time, when you look at how they release frames, in that they're not iterative. This is one of the things why I always say to you guys, like, if somebody makes a V2 frame, buy that shit, because none of these other manufacturers do that. They don't iterate. They design a frame, they sell it for a while, and then they completely redesign it, and then they sell that, and then they completely redesign it again, and then they sell that. So the frames don't get better, they just get different. As I say that, Ishin has the weave going in the correct direction, so I guess that's not totally true. They are a little bit iterative, but yeah. If they would pay someone a little bit, either task someone that they've already got, or pay someone to manage their social media and get opinions back from the customers, they would get feedback and pictures of this frame, for example, I'll bet you, breaking in that same spot over and over again. And then instead of completely redesigning this frame into something totally different with its own weak point, they could make a version 2.0 of this, beef up the spots, and sell something that was better. But what the fuck do I know? I'm just a goddamn pilot who's not good enough to make this into his living. I keyed, of course. I joke to prevent from crying. Rob Axelson, you're 6'2"? Need some inches if you can spare some. Rob Axelson, I would cut 6 inches off of my shins and mail them to you if it was a possibility. Being tall is great, I guess, when you're in the dating pool, because women seem to love tall dudes. But the first time that you walk, that you're leaning forward, because you lean forward when you walk or run, and you smash the right above your hairline into a low, like 1800 era or like 1900 era door frame, or a ceiling fan that's got hung too low, or a number of different things, being tall blows. The first time that happens, and a lot of people will go full-blown unconscious from it. I did not. I just see stars every time it happens. It doesn't happen often, but yeah, when it happens, being 6'2" blows a big bag of dicks. Being below 6 feet, that is where it's at, man. All you people that are 5'11" and a half, fuck you. I'm so jealous. I also don't fit into cars properly. It really sucks being more than 6 feet tall, but can't really help it. Maybe if I get really old, I'll shrink and I'll be well again. Mark Kunoff, speaking of, Urando with 50, I want to say that's Canadian. Is that Canadian? Let's look it up. 50 Canadian dollars, Urando. Dude, thank you, brother. Very, very cool of you. Very, very, very cool of you. CA dollars in US. Is that it? Is it CA? Well, that's California. That's not what I wanted. In US. Pretty sure it's CA. Nope, CA is CAD. All right, let's see what regular CA is. Where's the converter, Google? Come on, man. What? Why are you... Every single other time I've done a similar search like this in Google, they give me the converter. All right, I'll just go to the website. Okay, so see, I'm on the moneyconverter.com. CAD is Canadian dollars. All right, let's find what CA is. What's CA? What's just regular CA? Oh my God, Big Willie wears a 16. Jesus Christ, how big must your dick be? Hope you guys like that. That one was for you guys. What? Why? What's CA? YouTube, come on. YouTube, why are you using CA when it, according to the moneyconverter.com, CA doesn't exist? What? It is Canadian. Okay. All right, I thought so. Urando, dude, thank you for that. Very, very generous. Very fucking generous, man. Very cool of you. And he said, good luck on the job hunt. Don't get discouraged. Just keep pushing forward. The streams are great regardless of how often we get to enjoy them. Dude, awesome. Thank you for that. Mark Kunoff, speaking of eSheen, on the Nano VTX, do you always need to use soft serial to get the tramp to work properly? Nope, not at all. On the toothpick build, Smart Audio is working completely fine on an eSheen Nano, and that's a Mamba board that has additional UARTs. The Beta FPV board is very limited on UARTs, but the Mamba toothpick board is not. It's got a whole bunch of UARTs, and I have it on a regular old UART, and yeah, works totally fine. So doesn't need to be on a soft serial. That just happens to be what Beta FPV did to get around the fact that, for whatever reason, their board only has 2 UARTs, I guess it is. So that could be the reason why I was having weird flight issues. That flight controller might be getting overloaded. I might be hitting 100% CPU usage because of the fact that they're using soft serial for the third UART rather than putting physical UARTs into the board. Interesting. Let me see something. Yeah, I might not be able to run RPM filtering on that board. Well, I might either have to choose RPM filtering or smart audio on that board, or I guess I could also turn off telemetry from the receiver. Let's see where the CPU usage is at. 24%, which is not a good. It's always really hard on the ground to. So the way that I'm going to have to test that once I get this back together is I'm going to have to take it out with... Yeah, I guess I can just turn soft serial off. Get the VTX... Well, you know what? It's not the end of the world. I can just turn soft serial off and on. It's kind of annoying. But yeah, I could just get the VTX to the channel and the power that I want and then just turn soft serial off. And then the only thing that sucks is if I'm out flying with people, I'm the asshole that can't change his channel. That's not... I said that way too seriously. Because I know there's at least one person in here that's that person. You're not an actual asshole, but I'm just... Please don't take offense to that. I was joking. But yeah, I just become that person that can't change the channel on just this one rig. So yeah, that's not too bad. That's fine. But yeah, so I'll test that. I will fly it with and without soft serial to see if soft serial is overloading the processor and causing these weird flight characteristics that I've had on the 2 whole batteries I flew before my building let me down by the shrink wrap on the VTX coming off. But all that being said, 24% usage on the bench is usually not an issue. But you never know. It's kind of the Wild West with CPU usage right now. The RPM filtering is still sort of so new that we just don't have a really good feel for how many other things you can do on an F4 processor before it gets overloaded in flight, because the in-flight CPU usage is completely different than on the ground. Larry says walking is hard, just like words. Agreed. Ranflin says they recommend the 4S 450. I was wondering about the weight from the 450 and 850. That was my concern. Thanks, dude. You're welcome, brother. All right, let me get caught up on the chat, and we are going to. I don't have it in me to finish the Tiny Trainer build right now. I'm sorry, guys. I'm just gonna have to do it on my time. Rob Axon says, I hate to do this, but I got to get some rest. Dude, it's all good. Wish we could continue the chat, not live. CIDFPV, I'll be reaching out to you on Patreon. All of you, stay safe. Thanks, Rob. I'll talk to you on there for sure. Yeah, the Patreon is going to stay. Whatever happens with it, happens with it. I'm going to keep the giveaways going for as long as I can. I have a feeling if things keep going the way they're going that I will eventually have to drop that. But I'll keep it going for as long as I can at least break even. How about that? I will make you guys that pledge. I will pledge that to you guys to go into Patreon speak, right? Dave's FPV is 6'4". He says, I'm 6'4". This shit's whack. Yeah, right? It sucks, dude. Everybody wants to be tall until you're tall, and then it sucks. You're rando. Should be Canadian. That's where I am. Rob Axelson, I'm going to get a Mexican phone, send you 1 million pesos. I think that's $20 if I look like a baller. Shins isn't where I was looking at getting issues from. And then Rotten Tomato rounds out the chat with the giveaways aren't needed. I already give a lot to the community. You already give a lot to the community. So do you, Rotten. It's the weirdest thing I've ever said. So do you, Rotten. Big Willie sneaks it in for the last one. It's all good, man. Chillax, you need it. Have an awesome night as long as I can have an awesome night. As long as I can afford it, I'll be a Patreon. Have an awesome night later. For all you guys, I don't ever want any of you guys to feel any pressure from the Patreon. Like, at the drop of a hat, drop it. Like, I'm just so humbled and I'm just so humbled and amazed by the support that you all have given me already, and that I never ever want to take that for granted. I never have, and I never will. So don't ever feel like you guys there's any pressure from me to stay on whatever tier you're on, or on the Patreon in general. It's just a total bonus that has just been incredible. So I'm gonna sign off on this one. Sorry that it was the weirdest stream ever, but this was an amazing experiment that I'm so lucky to have had you guys along for the ride on. I will hopefully see you guys tomorrow. Worst case, I'll see you on Sunday at 3. Cool? Eastern. See you guys then. Be good. And I'll send you off with some more Patreon-only content. Wait, I thought I was going to leave it opened. Looks like I fucked that up, too. I keyed. YouTube Studio videos, and here's some more Charleston flying. How about that? Here's some more bridge rippage, because man, that bridge going over to Daniels Island in Charleston is one hell of a spot to fly. What just happened? What? That was weird. Here you guys go. Be good. I'll see you when I see you. Oh wait, let me do music that won't get me copyright stricken. Since I'm trying to do that now. Oh wait, no, this is all just prop noise? Come on. Yeah, it's just prop noise. Okay, cool. We're good. See you guys when I see you. Ooh, Marley, thanks. Here in Norway, they started to tax Patreon. That sucks. Yeah, they hit me with that Patreon tax too. Thank you for the kroners, though, Marley. You're the best. You're all the best. I don't know how that works, but you're all the best. God damn it. Later. See you when I see you.